want to say welcome to everyone. I am really excited about this collaborative leadership series. No one understands the role of a single site administrator unless they are a single site administrator. And it's even different for every one of us. But I'm so excited that we have a group together where we can meet and discuss and share ideas and share plans and share documents and just help each other get through all of the red tape that has become education, I would say, and all of the paperwork that has been added to our plates over the years. I know that in the 13 years that I have been doing this, my paperwork has increased probably tenfold since where it started 13 years ago. And for those of you that have been around, you know what I'm talking about. It is just more and more every year. So we're going to start today's meeting by just going around and introducing everyone. I will let you introduce yourselves. And I was thinking I'll pull up the list and I'll start and then I'll just call somebody's name so we don't have to wait in those awkward silences waiting for somebody to jump in. But when I call your name, if you can just unmute, introduce yourself, let us know what district you're with, let us know what county you're in, just so we can start making those connections. Arizona is a huge state and we are spread out all over the place. So my name's Kristin Turner. I'm the superintendent for the Paloma Elementary School District, and this is my lucky year 13 of being the superintendent principal for Paloma. Again, I'm just really excited that all of you have joined this group, and I think we can really help each other out. So Allison Ender, will you jump on next and introduce yourself?
I certainly will. Good morning, everybody. Allison Ender from Yavapai College, coming from Yarnell Elementary School District. I am the head administrator and principal at Model Creek School.
Welcome. Brandy Vastine?
That is correct. Brandy from Skull Valley Elementary School District. I've been the administrator for 6 years. I've been with the district 16 years. And we are in Yavapai County.
Welcome, Brandy. Dan Erickson.
Good morning, everyone. Kristin, first, thank you for putting this all together for us. My name is Dan Erickson. I'm the superintendent / principal at Sonoyta Elementary School District and at Elgin Elementary School, and we are in the northeast corner of Santa Cruz County.
Welcome. Dan is one of our presenters, so you'll hear a little bit more from him in just a moment. And then Deanne, I need help. Deanne?
Is it Dion Pierce?
Yes, Dion.
Hi, that's me.
Dion Pierce.
I'm Dion Pierce. I'm Yavapai County from Kirkland Elementary School District, and I've been in the district for 15 years, and this is my first year as the superintendent.
Congratulations. Welcome. Dr. Jennifer Petty.
Good morning. I am Jennifer Petty. I am the principal / superintendent here in Morristown, which is in Maricopa County. I've been at this school for 5 years, but this is my second year as the superintendent / principal.
Welcome. Thank you. And it says FX, I know it's Stephanie Miller, FFXV Mobile. Stephanie Miller.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. Yes, my Google account, I know this sounds crazy. It's my gaming account. I enjoy gaming. Like, okay, I need to change the name somehow. But Congress Elementary School District, little rural school, same. Principal superintendent. It's my 14th year in Yavapai County. And I think, 17 years plus with the school district. And so glad to be here today.
Welcome. Jennifer Murrieta.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jennifer Murrieta, and I am in Stanfield Elementary School District. This is my first year as the superintendent. I've been the principal here I've been here now for 5 years. So I'm excited. I have big shoes to fill, and I'm super happy to have all of you guys now as contacts. So now I have your name and number. I'll be reaching out when I have questions.
Absolutely. That's what we're hoping. John Warren.
Good morning, everybody. John Warren with the Topok School District. I've been the superintendent here for 21 years, with the district for 31. I have my co-presenter here, Kaylee Lee. Kaylee is our principal. And Kristin, want to reiterate what was stated earlier. Thank you. We've all been complaining for years and years of feeling left out as single-site districts, and Kristin grabbed the bull by the horn and put this together. So excited to be here, and what a fantastic turnout.
Thank you, John. Next, we have Carrie Avila.
Hello, I'm Carrie Avila. I am at Sloan High School Bicentennial Union High School District. This is my third year as the superintendent. It is my 19th year here at our district, where I know it sounds like everybody else is really small too, and I know this is single site, but some people are just amazed that we don't even have, they're like, so do you have a principal? So, but that I've been here going into that year and started as a parapro here. So this was an accidental position, I say, and we're in La Paz County.
That's exciting. You have a very broad perspective of education, which is great. And then Carrie Wade.
Hello, Carrie Wade. I'm from San Simon Schools. We're in the southeastern corner of Cochise County. This is starting my 5th year as superintendent here.
Welcome. Thank you. Katie Ast.
Hi, I'm Katie. This is my 21st year in the Pine Strawberry School District. Only my 3rd year as principal superintendent, and we are in Gila County.
Welcome. Melissa Sadorf.
Good morning, everyone. I am no longer a superintendent. I retired in June, but I am the executive director for the Arizona Rural Schools Association and the director of the NAU Rural Resource Center, who is collaborating with Kristin on putting this programming together. So glad you all are here. Glad that you're making these connections and increasing your network, and hopefully we're able to make sure that you have some resources and points of contact as you move forward through the year to help you in doing your rural leadership work. So thanks for being here.
Thank you, Melissa. Michael Deanna.
Hi, all. I am Michael Deanna, and I am a first-year superintendent/principal for Antelope Union High School here in Yuma County.
Welcome. Peter Dwyer.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Peter Dwyer. I'm 17 years in with Red Rock Elementary School District here in Pinell County. Was a single site principal, superintendent for a long time, and we've transitioned to superintendent principal, but still growing pains and starting to learn everything about rules. So Kristin, thank you for putting this together. It's going to be a great resource for us. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. Rich Arkanoff.
Hi, my name is Rich Arkanoff. I am the principal superintendent at the Bowie Unified School District, right next door to Cary and in Cochise County. And I am a retired superintendent from the state of Indiana after 29 years and came here and am enjoying this new transition. So.
Welcome. Rusty Taylor.
I'm Rusty Taylor. I apologize for being late. We all know what that's about. Obviously, I had things I had to take care of. So this is my 2nd year at Naco Elementary. Really proud to be the superintendent principal here. It's been a great, last year was a great year. A lot of changes, and then this year has been a lot smoother, obviously. But I'm looking forward to contributing to all this. And I really appreciate Kristin for setting this all up.
Thank you. Shad Housley.
Shad Housley. I'm the superintendent of Vernon Elementary School District in Apache County. This is my 3rd year in Vernon, 13th year as a superintendent. Happy to be here. Thank you, Kristin.
Thank you. Shanna Johnson.
Hello, I'm Shanna Johnson. I'm the superintendent principal of Mohawk Valley School, elementary school in East Yuma County. We're in the very corner of the state, about 30 miles east of Yuma. But this is my 11th year at Mohawk as superintendent.
Welcome. And Steve Yoder.
Hi, this is my first year at Sentinel down in the far western corner of Maricopa County. Just coming in after replacing a 29-year veteran, and hopefully my experience will help us out here. So,
welcome. And Steve is my new neighbor. And then I saw Angela Jangula just joined.
Yes, I did. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I had computer difficulties, so I just went to my phone. Are we just doing introductions?
Yes.
All right. So I'm Angela Jangula. I'm in Black Canyon City, just north of Phoenix. If you don't know that little zone, we have great pie. I have about 130 kids, and I bus about 40, 50 kids down to Anthem to a giant high school called Boulder Creek. And I've just been around for 12 years as superintendent. If you need anything, I'm here.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you. Is there anyone I missed because they joined in at a different time? I think we have everybody. Okay.
This is Debbie. Sorry, Debbie Stewart.
Oh, thank you.
You bet. I'm the superintendent principal at Dateland Elementary, Hyder School District. Neighbors too, about an hour outside of Yuma. So again, one of the small school sites. This is my first year as superintendent. So a lot to learn and grateful for the connections.
Welcome. Is there anyone else? I started
talking.
Yes.
Yep, good morning, Edgar Garcia, superintendent down in Valley Union, Cochise County. Second year superintendent, been in Maricopa County for quite a bit, maybe 25 years or so, but down here in Cochise County now. So welcome everybody.
Thank you. And I apologize for missing you. It's keeping the names in alphabetical order for me. And so if I went past your name and then you joined, I didn't see it. So is there anyone else or do we have everybody? Okay. All right. I wanted to start out the session this year just with building culture. I know that is something that's really important at the beginning of every school year and throughout the year and every year after that. So I am going to share my screen, and we have a panel of presenters today that I am very grateful for sharing their expertise. All right. So this is developing school culture for our first series or first session for the collaborative leadership series. Our panelists today are John Warren, Kaylee Lee, Stephanie Miller, and Dan Erickson. You just heard from them, and I will share a little bit more of their bio when it comes to their section. So we are going to start out with Kids at Hope with John Warren. And John Warren has been the superintendent principal of Topak Elementary School District for 21 years. He has 31 years of experience in public education as a teacher, coach, assistant principal, and superintendent. He is an adjunct faculty member of Mojave Community College and has his master's degree from Northern Arizona University in educational leadership. He has the honor of receiving the News Channel 3 Silver Apple Teaching Award, the VFW National Citizenship Education Teacher Award, the Arizona Rural Schools Association Mojave County Teacher of the Year, the Honoring Education Administrator of the Year, and the Arizona Game and Fish Department Educator of the Year. He is also the newly elected Mojave County School Superintendent, and he will begin his office in January. And John, would you introduce Kaylee for us?
Awesome. Thank you for that warm introduction, Kristin. Kaylee Lee will be co-presenting with me today. She is a local product, attended school here, kindergarten through the 8th grade, has now earned her master's degree in educational leadership and will be taking over for me as my heir apparent. So welcome, Kaylee. Thank you, Kristin. Let's jump right into it. Do you have the slides ready to go? So it's a rhetorical question, but why do some children succeed and others fail? And more importantly, what can we do about it? One of the things that I looked at when I came to this little district, my intent was to be a high school football coach, and where you have not enough children barely to field a basketball team, we had to look at other options. And so next, we glommed on to Kids at Hope in the early 90s before it was actually a thing. We were doing Kids at Hope here by bringing a positive culture onto campus, and didn't discover Kids at Hope until about 2010. Okay, next slide, please. So what is Kids at Hope? It's a protocol and strategic cultural framework based on 3 principles and practices. So number 1, being positive around children and making them believe in themselves. No exceptions. All children, no exceptions. Next slide. Connecting with children, becoming an ACE. What is an ACE? It's that go-to child's person that they can rely on in difficult times. Finding something awesome about that kid. Are they a good reader? Are they a good athlete? Are they kind? What is it about that child that makes that child glom onto you and be their go-to person? And one of the things that we realize is that when children have solid relationships with adults, they have a tendency to succeed. Okay. So in looking at their future and how they measure success, we looked at 4 different criteria, being home and family, hobbies and recreation, community and service, and education and career. And so having children be able to articulate their future and then coming back into the present and implementing a game plan to make them successful has got a proven track record now that we're extremely pleased with the successes that we've seen. So I want to tell a story before we go into this slide. My own personal experience, I met a child in the 2nd grade. I was a 6th grade teacher and PE teacher here at Topak School, and I introduced myself to her parents in the hallway during parent-teacher conferences. And I said to them, I was a former high school track coach, and your child is quite talented. In the 5th grade, I took that child and we started a track team for her and her brother. So I had a 2-man team, 1 boy and 1 girl. That was a junior high sport, so 6th, 7th, and 8th graders only, but we didn't tell anybody that they were only in the 5th grade. We just showed up and ran. That student happened to be a special ed student. And in the 6th grade, I took her completely out of special ed. Had no idea what I was doing, but I did. In the 8th grade, that student set the mile record in the 1-mile run, and the 1,200-meter run, which still stand 21 years later. After taking that child out of special ed, that kid went on to graduate from high school in the top 10% of her class and was also the student body president. She earned a cross-country scholarship to Yavapai Community College, and they were team national champion runners-up. Yavapai dropped the program. Those kids transferred to Central Arizona and were national champions. That kid went on to earn her master's degree and is now a certified principal and is my heir apparent to take over the Topak School District in January of 2025. I introduced her to you earlier, Mrs. Kaylee Lee. And as a treasure hunter, that's the success I saw in her as a child growing up, and went on and it's come to fruition. What we just started in the 2nd grade has now evolved into a master's degree and looking at a beautiful career being here. I want to finish up my presentation with the opportunity to go to the Masters Institute. Kids at Hope was started right here in Arizona, in Phoenix, by Rick Miller. When he has his Masters Institute in September, there are some heavy hitters that have a tendency to attend his meetings and conferences. If you look at the very front of that picture, that's Rick Miller in the lower right-hand corner. Next to him is Gerda Weissman Klein. If you haven't heard of her, Gerda was a Holocaust survivor. HBO or Showtime made a movie about her. She was one of 21 women who survived the 2,000-mile death march during the Holocaust. Next to her is Frank DeAngelis. His name may not ring a bell, but Columbine High School should ring a bell. One of the most tragic school shootings we've ever experienced in our nation. And after that occurred, I love Frank. Frank was a high school baseball coach, 2 state championships, an amazing human being. He had death threats on his life after the shooting. He was offered a retirement from the school board. And Gerda Weissman Klein reached out to him and talked about the kids at his school and how utilizing hope and bringing hope into his environment got her through the Holocaust and would get him through that tragedy. Erica Camacho, if you are familiar with Jaime Escalante, the stand and deliver guy from East LA who was teaching algebra on Saturdays, Erica Camacho left East LA, went to Colgate on a math scholarship. I met her at the Masters Institute. She now is a PhD in applied math and statistics at Arizona State University. And Jaime Escalante was her teacher, and he was featured in Stand and Deliver. Erin Gruel was the author of The Freedom Writers. When she was introduced, everybody gave her a standing ovation. And I thought, man, I need to get with the ball. Who is this? And I watched the movie, and unbelievably motivating. Denzel Washington is extremely active with the Kids at Hope movement. And again, if you have the opportunity to attend the Masters Institute right here in Arizona, I would strongly encourage you. If you need help financially, I can reach out to Rick Miller and see if he will provide you with a scholarship opportunity. But the fact that it's right here in our own backyard, for me, when I measure my success in education in the last 31 years, for some of us, it's earning our doctorate, our master's, being a state champion. For me, one of the greatest things I ever did was introducing Kids at Hope to my campus. I have a nationally certified teacher here at my school, and she attended the Masters. We asked her to present to the governing board what her experience was like, and she couldn't speak. She was overcome with emotion. It had that much of a profound effect on her. She was going to come in and chat with you for a little bit this morning, but Kristin, if we can go to the next slide, she did provide a statement on what the opportunity to go to the Masters Institute was like. So I'll let you read that on your own, and appreciate the time, and looking forward to engaging with all of you throughout the next several years. I will stay a part of this group even as I transition into my role as the county school superintendent. Any questions for Kaylee or myself?
Thank you, John.
Thanks,
and
everybody.
Kaylee. No, thank you so much. I'm just curious, is there anyone else that's using Kids at Hope on their campus? Okay. I too have gone to the Masters Institute, and for me, it was the most fun professional development I've ever had. Maybe my season was a little more focused on bringing fun and excitement back into education for kids, but it was a great week and well worth every moment and every penny spent to attend the Masters Institute. So thank you again, both so much. I am going to, well, first I'll say too, if any of you want to hear more about Kids at Hope, please reach out to John. At the end of this meeting, I haven't asked yet, but I do have a list of everyone who has joined, along with email addresses and phone numbers and the school district that they're in. I'm going to share it, so maybe you can add information about school size or county, some of those pieces of information I didn't have, but then you'll be able to reach out directly and have everybody's contact information as well. All right, next, if I can have Stephanie Miller, Dr. Stephanie Miller, unmute, and I will introduce her. Dr. Stephanie Miller has been the superintendent of Congress Elementary School District, an A for Arizona school, for 13 years, but I think I heard her say this is her 14th year. Her degrees include a Doctor of Education in Instructional Leadership, Certificate of Advanced Studies in Educational Leadership, and a Master's in Curriculum and Instruction for Creative Arts. Dr. Miller's professional experiences have included being an adjunct professor for Northern Arizona University, a private school administrator, a national school improvement specialist, and a classroom educator. Dr. Miller has been awarded by the Phoenix, Arizona Chamber of Commerce for her outstanding leadership. She has presented nationally for the National Science Teachers Association and the Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development. Her school district has been highlighted in national publications for its accomplishments in STEM. In January 2024, the school district was given an Award of Excellence by the Arizona's House Education Committee. Please welcome Dr. Stephanie Miller.
Yay, I like the way you say that. I always go, Mr. Carter is our county superintendent. I always go, Mr. Carter. You're the Dr. Miller. I want to do a shout out to John. I met him my first freshman year of being a principal superintendent. And I remember that when we met, we were at a training and he turned out, I was like, you guys are from there. And, you know, I'm interested in this and I want this. And we just got into the conversation because of his passion for his school to be the best and for his students to be impacted. And I really appreciate that's never changed, obviously, about John. So John, it's great. I will present on, there you go. Okay, I was like, I could do Kids at Hope, but okay. So our school district is rural. We are on, everybody goes, where is it at? Past Wickenburg, on the way up to Prescott, but you split off like you're going to Vegas, but you go the Yarnell route up to Prescott. So anyway, if you know that. We're K-8, 118 students, and about 70% free and reduced. We are an A-graded school in Arizona, and the school opened in 2001. Before that was Transportation School District, and we do believe in whole child instruction. The discipline that I'm going to talk about today is really rooted in, you'll see a lot of positive discipline aspects, which is where it's caring, but it has that firm, this is where we draw the line, this is what we expect. And so when John was talking a lot about Kids at Hope, you'll see a lot of that even embedded within what I'm talking about, the elements. All right, we use, the core of the discipline is second steps. And so that is our adopted social emotional curriculum. And so that's it. We'll move on from there. So this is one of the unique aspects we do see in other school districts, but it's kind of rare. And that's a dual-sided report card. And that did happen when the school opened. So we've had it for over 20 plus years. One side is standards-based, and you just train parents to this, but it's where the child is in that standard 1 to 4 score. And then the other side is behaviors that support academic learning. And honor roll is based upon the behaviors that support academic learning. So it is based on the social emotional learning characteristics, which is second steps aligned. And that is where they get the A to F grades. Next one. So there's actually our dual-sided report card. And if you're interested in a copy of this, I can get you one. Excuse me, but you'll see on one side is that those 4 sub areas, and we came together as a staff. So I will say this, this has been a lot of work in progress. I didn't come into the school with this already created. worked with the team to develop out a lot of this. So I have a lot of buy-in in the process also. When you look at that dual-sided report card, what you will notice is that, and it's on, like when I'm looking at it, it's on the left side of my screen, but that has the major categories are in gray, and then underneath it, there are 3 different grades that under Second Steps curriculum relate to that. And they do get graded in Second Steps. There's actual grades. But the reason we chose 3, and we were careful to choose our 3, is so that, for instance, if a student has 2 C's and a B, they're going to end up, that's going to roll up to a C. So just different things we've learned. All right, next one. So our Cougar Bucks, because we are Cougars, and so the office referrals are aligned to the Second Steps and the honor roll. So all the language matches to the report card and the adopted social emotional curriculum. So the Cougar Bucks have the specific areas: mindset for learning, empathy and relationships, emotions and self-regulations, and problem solving and handling conflict. We added a Cougar Buck for attendance, and we do that for, if we get a pod, we could call them pods, K2, 3, 5, 6, 8, they get a Cougar Buck if the class is there, everybody, or if the entire pod is there, they then get 2 Cougar Bucks. It's a team effort. We use specific language when we give out the Cougar Bucks, so it's not just, here, you showed great learning, thank you for today. It would be, what did they do specifically? I really like the way you showed empathy when you did XYZ to so-and-so. So we're very specific with the language. It's also, there are different colors. So each Cougar Buck has the language on it and a color that's associated with it. So you can use this with data analysis. You can start saying to kids, I notice that you're getting a lot of, what color are you getting? You're getting a lot of, or what area? You're getting a lot in the mindset for learning. So what are we going to set some goals in? What are we going to do? But, and that can be used for whole group instruction, individualized goals, etc. And so analysis is really important, and we like to do that. The Cougar Bucks are used at the Cougar Buck store, which is ran by our student council. And so we really want to make sure we empower students as much as possible, which I'm sure John can tell you is infused throughout Kids at Hope. It's, kids working with other kids and being leaders. Office referrals have the same 4 categories, and then we added other. And so again, you're having that specific language that relates. All right, next one. Going through it. My notes. All right, so other discipline culture that we're doing, and again, just because only John's gone so far, I can relate to it, but he said relationships are so important. And so I don't know if they're still saying this, but for a long time they said this, and they probably still do. Just think of this with real estate. It's what are the 3 things to remember when you're buying a house? Do you know the 3 things? Location, location, location. I was like, because location drives up price. So it's the same thing with discipline. Is relationships, 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 and positive, not negative, right? So you want to know every student, and I think that we obviously at any size school you should as an administrator, but there is no excuse not to know every child and who they are uniquely, all of that, and build those relationships. And so anyway, just put that out there. And then all staff have the expectations of modeled behaviors, and it's visible. And I call these mirrors. So what I'm doing should be the same as what our teachers are doing. That should be the same as what the kids are doing, like parallels. Everything should mirror each other. If there's yelling in our school, I'm going to be very quick to respond to that, because that signals a crisis. So something's going on. If voice has to be used to control something, if that's in your culture right now, that's something to consider. Angela gave me a heart. Okay, and then on top of that, so fun things. The other thing is the team aspect. That's another core of that model behavior. We're a team. We're a team with each other as adults, but we're a team with the kids, and we want the kids to be teams. They need to be teaming with each other as well. So again, all those mirrors and crossovers should look very similar in how we talk with each other and how we interact. All right, the next, are you embracing excellence? So when I came into the school, one of the things I'd previously served as was I was a principal at Rancho Solano, and it's a private school. And one of the things I really liked when I was there that I saw was they had a tagline, and it was, are you doing the Rancho 5? And it was like, all you had to do was say that to a kid and they change out, because that was kind of the heads up. It doesn't disgrace them, but it says to them, check your behavior, without saying check your behavior. So you're not, going at them, but you're just saying, are you doing that? And so when I came on, again, working with the teachers, we determined that the school instructional theme would be embracing excellence through whole child education, instruction, education. And so use embracing excellence also with the kids to just say, are you embracing excellence at this moment? And we don't say it loudly in front of everybody. It's very directed. So that child has a moment that they can say, I need to self-correct and maybe do something. Why am I being asked this? Office referrals are, let me go back to, embracing excellence. We also do a morning news with the kids, and they do morning news. And then I get to be spotlighted, although we can have others as well, and they're embracing excellence moments. And so it's like a quick fireside chat with Dr. Miller, but I tell stories and it's fun. Okay, and then office referrals are opportunity for learning. I believe everybody does this practice, but if not, it is an opportunity for learning. And I'm going to throw out a whole bunch of stuff. Neurosequential model in education is superb. Just a reminder, we need to have a student regulated. We need to be regulated. And then it goes to relate. We need to make sure that that student still is relating to you and feels safe. So think of it that way. And then it goes into reasoning. And so now we can sit there with the student and have discussions. And people are, I think you can even see behind me, like what is going on behind Dr. Miller. But that's a lot of things that sometimes they're not ready to reason or talk. And so that's the checkpoint of, is there something here that might be interesting you? And do you want to get there to talk about that? And then we get that moment. And then now I can, okay, can we put that up? And now we're going to have a discussion about what happened, where are we at? And so just jumping into, I think you're okay to reason with me. We can talk about your behavior. Yeah, it's not always good. There's a lot of restorative justice technique. And so I throw that idea out at you also. Theory. And so that's another thing we use here. And we use think sheets. And so that is an opportunity for a student. They don't get a referral, but it does go home to the parent and the parent has to sign it. And so we use that. It's tied into choice theory. Okay, I'm trying to stay in my time allotment. Next one. There you go. So this is a great summary for me, and I've just found it. It's a Google image, but creating a positive school culture, and there is the primal spot is number one, building relationships, and then encouraging positive behavior, focusing on the whole child, creating a sense of community, and then emphasizing. We go back and look at a lot of data and that continuous improvement. I want you to know we do walk the talk, and everybody's invited to come visit if ever you want. And I love to visit also. True. Yeah. So, and that's it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Before we go on to our next section, are there any questions for Stephanie? Dr. Miller, are there any questions?
Thank you.
Can you share the tickets or I called them tickets. I don't know if that's what you had them called, but like the Cougar Bucks.
The Cougar Bucks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The information on that.
I would have to go grab one. I should have but they're square like that. Yeah. And they say, and then we put a little graphic in the middle, and then it's the color. But yeah. At the end.
If you send me a digital copy of the Cougar Bucks and the dual-sided report card, I will share that out with the whole group.
And I can even do the think sheets. I didn't do a sample of the think sheets. So
that would be great.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm writing it down too, just in case.
It's accountability now. It's
I know.
Written. Oh, cruel.
All right. Any other questions? Okay. I am going to move on to our next section of our first series, and I would like to welcome Dan Erickson. Daniel Erickson was born in Western New York and has been living in Arizona as a professional educator for the past 28 years. Mr. Erickson completed his Bachelor of Science degree in elementary education, as well as his master's in educational leadership. Mr. Erickson taught for 6 years and has served in several leadership roles over the past 22 years, including assistant principal, principal, director, assistant superintendent, and superintendent. He is in his 4th year as a district superintendent. As a site leader, he led 2 campuses to increase student achievement, as well as alignment of programs to meet student needs. As the director of advanced learning, he earned his district placement on the AP College Board Honor Roll, increased advanced learning opportunities across 89 campuses, and collaborated on the development of governing board policy recommendations. He has also created new teacher and administrator evaluation protocols. Mr. Erickson is a passionate servant leader who believes the relationships are at the heart of all we do in education. And let's welcome him to present about servant leadership. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you, Kristen. I actually don't have much to present because John and Stephanie kind of did my whole presentation for me. I love the fact that they talked about relationships and how important they are in everything that we do in education. And I often say that they are at the heart of everything that we do in education. So on the next slide, you'll see the definition of what servant leadership is. It was coined in 1970 by Robert Greenleaf, but this dates back far beyond 1970. It's actually referenced in the Bible in certain places. If you look hard enough, you can find it. So servant leaders focus primarily on the growth and well-being of people and the communities to which they belong. While traditional leadership generally involves accumulation and exercise of power by one at the top of the pyramid, servant leadership is different. The servant leader shares that power, puts the needs of others first to help people develop and perform as highly as possible. One idea that I have as far as servant leadership that I try to practice is the idea of listening tours. And so I would encourage everyone to do this, no matter how long you've been in a district, to listen to the people who live in that community and hear what their hopes and dreams are for the school and the community at large. When I signed my contract here, I'm first-year superintendent here in Sonoyta, but I had 3 years in a previous district with a 4-day school week. So when I signed my contract here in January, after informing the board, the outgoing board, I started my transition by coming here on Fridays, because we're a 5-day school week, and meeting with everyone. I listened to everything they had to say about the district, good, bad, or indifferent, without judgment. And the goal there is to try to think about what are some ways that I can support them in what they're saying. One of the things that came out in those listening tours was the fact that we didn't have a unified curriculum in language arts and math. So one of the first items that we fixed in July when I started was to purchase the rest of our curriculum for grades 6, 7, and 8. So we have a unified language arts and math curriculum in grades 6 through 8. That was one example of things that came out during those listening tours when talking to teachers. I also used some of this to turn it into my superintendent goals. So I'm doing a quarterly parent-principal partnership meeting as part of my superintendent goals to continue that listening and making sure I'm hearing what's going on with my constituents. And the goal there is being to see how you can serve them and help the organization grow both at their level and at the district level. And for us in Sonoyta being a small town, how does it help impact what goes on in the community itself? As part of this process, I was able to find out who my stars are. I'm sure that you all have those wonderful stars on your campuses and in your districts. And then using a critical eye to help distribute and develop leadership with them. One perfect example for us is I have an awesome second grade teacher who has her master's degree and is going to be, I'm guessing in a few years when I retire, will take over my position. She's just great. I've been in her classroom, watched her teach. She's lesson plans, student engagement, questioning strategies. It's all to a T in her class. So my next step is to help empower her to lead. Kristen, for the next slide, please. Thank you. And so to empower teacher leaders, because teachers are the most connected to the student needs and can drive that change when they are empowered. So she is leading our K-5 professional learning community. And as a school, we've begun to develop a calendar that incorporates 4 things. Professional development, which was non-existent here last year, just saying it was. They had staff meetings, but no real professional development. So when I listened to the teachers and found out they wanted to have the science of reading as part of their professional development, we developed a 2-year plan where at the end of the 2 years, if the teachers can pass the test, they will all have their endorsements through that training that we're putting together. We will also have staff meeting once a month. They'll do PLCs and data reviews. And these are things that came out in the listening tours that the teachers wanted and things that I think are good for the organization. So this teacher manages those PLCs, talks about things like curriculum, culture, discipline, classroom management, lesson planning. And I talked to her beforehand, but I purposely don't attend the PLCs. I want her as the leader in training, so to speak, to make those decisions. I give her that autonomy to do so. Now, with a caveat, she knows there's no big sweeping changes that are going to take place without her coming to me and we're having a conversation about what those look like. So her and I meet prior to those meetings and we meet afterwards, and she turns in a PLC report form so I know what's going on in her PLC and as well as the middle school one. It does 2 things. It frees me up. I don't have to be at every PLC meeting because I've got other things that are going on, as we all do. And it allows her to grow in her leadership. And that's a key tenet of being a servant leader, is it's not about the leader, it's about serving and growing other leaders. And what a great way to serve our students, but to develop more leaders to impact future generations. After identifying your teacher leaders and empowering them to lead, my goal there is to help the culture thrive. So to do this, I try to practice what I call transparent communication. And so this, to me, it helps everyone, be on the same page, or at least reading the same book. Not everyone's still going to be on the same page with you. We all have those kind of folks as well. So for us, we have, I do weekly leadership updates. I send out a brief highlights of important information, decisions that are made, upcoming events. And I try to add a personal touch to those. John talked about the importance. He shared a great story, and I think it's very important that we are also able to share stories. And one of mine from the first 2 days of school is one of my students had a birthday, and she happened to mention to me that she was having her favorite, chicken nachos maybe? Not my favorite dinner, but her favorite dinner. So the next day when I asked her, how was the chicken nachos? A teacher happened to be close by and asked me, how did I know what this random student had for dinner the night before? And I said, well, it was her birthday yesterday, and I knew that she'd mentioned to me that that's what she was having for dinner. And the teacher was just amazed that I was able to remember that. It goes back a lot to what Stephanie talked about, relationships, which is really at the heart of all leadership, especially being a servant leader. Another example, at the beginning of the second week of school, I sent an email out. The title was Building on a Strong Start. We had a great first week of school. So I thanked them for a great first week, provided some quick reminders of things that needed to be done, gave them a rundown of events, and finished with a positive note about them and their students. The other part that I like to do, I call these like little check-ins, and I'm going around talking to people constantly. So I would encourage everyone as much as you can to try to be out of your office to do these things. But you don't want to fall into the trap of hearing them just say, oh, I'm good, everything is good, because you become the most lied to person on your campus if everything is good, because not everything is going to be perfect. So you have to be able to dig a little deeper, ask how things are going. What can I do to help? Do you need anything from me? This communication allows me to see and hear things firsthand and offer solutions in real time. They don't have to search me out. Part of my plan this year and every year has been an open door policy. They know if the door is closed like it is now that I'm in a meeting or something important going on. But if the door is open and they need to talk, they're welcome to come in at any time to do so. When I was interviewed for this position, the board asked me, how do you plan to balance the 2 positions of principal and superintendent? And my answer was really simple. I can't do classroom walkthroughs after the kids are gone. So I try to take the morning especially and try to focus on that time where I'm available to get out in classrooms, talk to kids. We do a flag ceremony every day. All the kids meet in the gym. They all say the pledge. They all do the moment of silence. We all do the announcements together. It's a great community building event for us, and we do it every single day in our gym every morning. So I'm out on campus and actually had an 8th grade student say to me, why are you in our classes so much? I just love that. I mean, it was a great moment for me to know, like, okay, good. They're noticing me, that I'm out there and available to them. Other messages that I try to send out, we had a great board meeting in August, but not every teacher wants to come back for a 2-hour board meeting. So I sent a quick board report the next morning, and what that does is it helps me unify the message across the campus. So everyone knows exactly what's going on, and if parents have questions about what's going on at the board level, the teachers have talking points right there in their inbox. My last slide are just some different things to think about. John did a great job with the storytelling. I think storytelling is very important. It's essential to what we do. We have to be able to get our message across, and people love to hear that in genuine stories about what's going on your campus. The second one, the work-life balance. I did an interview yesterday with the Patagonia Regional Times. They're doing a story on me because I'm the new guy here. And I talked about going to the gym after work and setting aside that time to make sure that I take care of what goes on at my house in Tucson. I have a 60-minute commute each way. So I try to make sure I arrive on time, end on time, kind of like my meetings, begin on time, end on time, or even a little bit early. Celebrating success, we have a shout out board in our teachers lounge where people can just write notes about what's going on with other people and how they've helped them this year. It's a great event, great opportunity for us to talk about what's going on. Community engagement, I've attended my first Rotary meeting. We brought the Border Patrol in because they're the closest first responder we're going to have in case of an emergency. We've had 15 different Border Patrol agents on our campus to scout out different areas and see where they'd have to come in case of an emergency. The next one is a work in progress, the Celebrating Innovation. We're trying to carve out some money to give to teachers for grants to try new things. We're trying to support them in that way. And my last and probably the most important piece of advice is to develop your network of support. A lot of people go into a role like this and they choose to go it alone, and that makes it, number one, it makes it lonely, and number two, it makes it very difficult. So I've got several people that I reach out to and ask questions of to make sure that I think that if there's something going on that I need advice on, that's where I go to. So those are just some ideas about servant leadership. And my last part, I just encourage everyone to remember, none of us is as smart as all of us. So together, I think we can do a lot of great work.
Thank you, Dan. I got some great ideas on that section as well. I would like to take a moment to thank all of our presenters. A lot of great ideas to share, and it's nice that it's the beginning of the year. So if any of you want to get started on implementing any of those into your school programs, it's not too late to get that started. I just wanted to include on this slide, I don't have social media accounts, but I did put Dr. Sadorf on here. Again, she is the executive director for the Arizona Rural Schools Association and also the NAU Rural Resource Board. I'm not sure exactly what your title is for the NAU Rural Resource Center, but in charge of that as well. And if you need to find any more resources, the NAU Rural Resource Center is the one that is the idea where this started. And there are a whole bunch of videos and resources on the website at www.naurrc.org. But we will post this video on there. We will post any of the materials that are shared on there as well. Melissa just put her cell phone in the chat as well, and I can include that on the spreadsheet. But before we go, we just have a few minutes. There are a few questions I would like to ask the group. I'm going to stop sharing. And I want to have an open forum at the end of every meeting just to see if there are any pressing questions or concerns that anybody would like to have addressed in a upcoming session. Our next session is we are focusing on move on when reading. So all of that data and all of those plans are due October 1st. I think our next meeting is scheduled September 24th. So it is the week before those plans are due. Is that enough time for everybody? Is there something else that you would like to see presented during that time? This is for all of us. So I'm hoping. Okay. I do see someone, Shanna Johnson, who is also going to be presenting about Move On When Reading next time. She would like to see or hear from anyone that has switched to the small school adjustment. So they didn't have the small school adjustment and then they made the transition to small school adjustment. Is that you, Stephanie? I see you. Nope.
I've done both. So we were small school. We had a year where we fell out of small school and then we went back to small school. And I think Angela probably could speak to that as well. She's been back and forth quite a bit.
Yeah, I ping pong.
Wonderful. Shanna, you have two resources right there. So Angela and Stephanie have ping ponged and gone in and out of the small school status. So those would be excellent resources. Thank you very much, both of you, for that. Okay, just two questions. Is everybody okay with me sharing your contact information in a spreadsheet so that we can reach out to each other when we have questions along the way? Perfect. And then is 10 o'clock a great time or is 11 o'clock work better? I had some that couldn't attend today. They said they would prefer 11. I can send out a poll to see if 10 o'clock or 11 is better. I see a 10 is better. I might send out a poll for that one just to see. Oh, 10 is better. Okay, we will keep it at 10. I have more votes for 10 o'clock. Perfect. We'll keep it at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock it is. Two things before we go, unless anybody else has anything to say. Tomorrow, Melissa is running a superintendent roundtable, and they're going to be going over the new indicator scoring that is coming. They have a presentation on the upcoming A through F indicator scoring, and that is tomorrow at 10 o'clock as well. So that is the superintendent roundtable. Yes, I will be sending, Rich, I will be sending another invite. I just wanted to find out if the 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock worked better. And then I'm going to send it out and we'll have it on the calendar. So I will get that sent out to everyone. And then also there's several of us here that have gone to the Arizona Rural Schools Conference, is on the Arizona Rural Schools Board. We invite you to the upcoming Arizona Rural Schools Conference, and we invite you to be a member. It is another great organization to make those connections so that you can get questions answered. The conference is October 1st through the 3rd, with a pre-conference on September 30th. I'm counting my dates.
No, it's October 1st from 1 to 4.
Oh, okay. So the pre-conference is on October 1st. Okay. I apologize. And Melissa can send out more information about that. If you have not signed up for Arizona Rural Schools, it is a great organization to get lots of information, especially helping with advocacy and information about legislation. Melissa, do you want to add anything about anything about Arizona Rural Schools? Okay.
I'm going to drop the sign up information for the roundtable tomorrow. We are going to have both Jessica Mueller and Sean Ross there. And they're going to be talking about, as Kristin said, the A to F accountability system, paying particular attention to those indicators so that you have some understanding about how those things might affect your letter grade. And so if you're able to join us, that goes from 10 to 11 tomorrow. And as Kristin said, we do have a pre-conference this year, which is new. It will be the day of the registration pickup and our opening reception. And it's going to be focused on advocacy work, particularly we're going to be inviting people from the Department of Education, from the legislature, from the governor's office, and from state board to really have an opportunity to connect with you as rural leaders, talk about some of the issues that you're seeing in those arenas around policies and things that are coming out of those different areas of our state government. And it gives you an opportunity to then connect with them and meet them so that when there are things that are happening there at the state Capitol, you have a connection that you can then go back and talk to, and they know who you are. So really an opportunity to start relationship building. We've talked a lot about relationships today, but that relationship building with your lawmakers and other people that influence what we do is really important. So that's a place where you can do that. The other thing that I'll say is that the conference, it's less than a month to register. If you are not already a member of ARSA, you can go to azruralschools.org. That's our website. You can get more information on how to become a member. There's a conference website. You can register online for the conference. You can get more information about who we have presenting and my information. You've got my cell phone number. I'll also drop in my email so that you can reach out to me and connect with any questions that you have. So hope to see you in Flagstaff. It is a great time to connect with other rural leaders from across the state. Thanks, Kristin.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you again to our wonderful presenters today. We had John Warren, Stephanie Miller, Dan Erickson, and Kaylee Lee. I really appreciate all of the ideas that you shared. I will look forward to any materials that you'd like to send that I can share with the group. And then for everyone else, look for the invitation to our next session where we're going to discuss the Move On When Reading and new reading requirements for K through 5 teachers. And I can't wait to see you all again in a month. Thank you so much. All right. Bye, everyone.